Good evening and welcome to our next episode of Cooking with Michael.
And Candace.
That's right, we're back. We're ready to roll. Thank you so much for watching our last episode. Hope you tried that strawberry spinach salad. I know a lot of you did. We had a lot of feedback. People loved it, which is great. And right now, our cat's about to jump on
yes.
and knock the
Let me go stop her. Karen, here's your cat moment. Nermal the Destructor. Kitty cat. Kitty cat.
All right, as we said, a lot of people tried it. We got a lot of feedback. Exciting. So we're really excited about that. Tonight, a little bit different. Last week was summer, and then we got some cold weather, so we had to do a soup.
Because we live in Maryland, it turned back into winter.
Yes, it did. It actually snowed and sleeted and hailed. It was really fucking crazy. But anyway, and of course I went to the dentist, so I really can't eat a whole lot. So we're gonna do
soup.
Clam chowder, though. It's one of our favorite recipes. Well, actually, I think pretty much everything we do is a favorite recipe. We just love
food.
We love food,
as you can tell.
Yes. So, wearing my Steelers shirt. Steelers had their first workout. Mitch Trubisky, and of course, Dwayne Haskins. Thoughts go out to you and your family. So, as always, thank you to Andrew, Chapel Beer and Wine. If you're in the Germantown area, stop in at Fox Chapel Shopping Center. Go to Chapel Beer and Wine. See Andrew. Tell him Mr. Mike.
And Candace.
And Miss Candace sent you, and he'll take good care of you. So, thank you, Andrew. As always, huge supporter of us. We love what you do. Thank you again. But tonight, again, clam chowder. I'll show you what the ingredients are. The ingredients are simple. So we've already done a lot of the prep as we've been doing. You want one large russet potato, kind of cut up into cubes, or in my case, triangles. Okay. You want about half a cup of carrots, and down in here is celery. It's actually in there, I promise. You want about a half a cup of chopped celery.
You'll see it when he dumps it.
Yeah, pretty much.
We ran out of bowls.
It's also easier too because we're just going to dump it all into one thing.
Exactly. It all gets dumped at the same time.
It's just easier to put it all together. So, and of course, a half cup of minced onion. Now, I will tell you, the finer you chop it, the better. And that's purely because I'm not a fan of onion. So the bigger pieces I don't like. But it's really about what you want.
You do have to have some onion in there, though, to get the right clam chowder flavor.
Correct. We're going to use canned minced clams, and all of you are shrieking right now going...
The reason why we are using canned is because they obviously are already cooked. And this particular recipe, you never bring anything to an actual boil. Correct. So we would never actually cook the clams.
Basically just want them warm.
Yeah, it's a food safety thing.
Right.
As well as convenience, I guess.
So those of you who are screaming and crying about, you're in Maryland using canned clams. Right, that's why. So exactly. You want to use half and half. Red wine vinegar, salt, pepper, butter, flour, water. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn on our hot pot. First things first is we're going to get this, the first part of it, the main part of it ready. Okay? And that is where we take the potatoes, the carrots, and the hidden celery. It's in there, I promise.
Hidden celery.
All right, so let's just get started. Show you the ingredients. We're going to go ahead and we're going to open up the clams. And you want to take the clam juice.
You will be using the clam juice. Do not pour it off, as in pour it away. You pour it off into your...
That would be a large skillet.
Skillet.
It's our first day on this planet. So we're going to take that, we're going to put it in there. We're not going to put the clams in there yet. We're just going to drain it, okay?
Yeah, because if you put your clams in now, they will be very overcooked, and they will be very tough and chewy.
All right, so we're going to put this in here. Again, drain it nice and drained. Put those aside for right now. Then we're going to take potatoes, carrots, celery.
See, there it is. There's the celery.
Celery's in there. And then we're going to take the onion. And again, half cup of onion, half cup of celery, half cup of carrots, and one large russet potato cut into cubes. All right, so now what you want to do is kind of mix it up inside of this, okay? And you want to take...
It's called stirring, honey. You just want to stir.
Just keep stirring, just keep stirring. What do? You killed your... Oh, sorry, never mind.
What do? We leave evidence on camera.
Damn it. All right, so what you want to do is, and it's going to look a little bit like this.
Tall people, tall people.
What you can see is it's not covered, so we want to take some water. And you want to use just enough water to cover up the mixture that's in there. Okay, so it's about 2 cups. Okay? Put the 2 cups of water in there. That's usually what it comes down to. Stir it to make sure it's in there. And then you want to cook this mixture until it's soft. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because if you watched our show before, again, thank you very much. We love you.
This thing sucks.
It sucks. So I'm going to move it to the real stove. And we're going to cook it. It's not really going to boil. We're just going to cook it until the potatoes are soft and everything is kind of cooked in there, okay? We'll move it over there. We'll come right back and show you the next step. Before we get to the next step, we want to make sure the potatoes are almost cooked. It'll take about 15, 20 minutes, something like that. Make sure the potatoes are tender and everything's kind of cooked over there.
Yeah, you don't want this flour, butter, half and half mixture to sit and wait for the other stuff to finish. Because by then it's going to be, if it isn't burnt, it's going to be too cooked down, too thick. The flavor won't be right, the consistency won't be right. Patience and planning.
All right, so as we said, that's cooking, okay? You want to make sure the potatoes are tender and soft and what have you. And as Candace so perfectly pointed out, you don't want to overcook this or have this done beforehand.
Because then it'll be icky.
Because then it'll be icky. Ew, icky. I don't want that. Oh, no, sorry, that's our kids.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Our kids at dinner time. Every night!
Every night. So anyway, so that's coming along really good, so we're going to go ahead and start making this. First thing you want to do is you want to take basically a 1/3 cup of butter. Now the cool thing about this, if you don't know this, no, most people do, but most...
Butter.
Okay, so it actually gives you the measurements. Is this what I do to you?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so give you the measurements. So we want to do a 1/3 cup. I'm actually going to do a little more than a 1/3 cup, just because I think it makes it taste a little better, and
We like butter.
So I'm done with you. So I'm actually going to do full 6 teaspoons, because really it's like, or 7 teaspoons, excuse me. 6 teaspoons, I'm sorry. We're going to do 60.
This is not your thinking cap, is it?
Apparently not. So let's try this again. So we're going to use 6 teaspoons, because a 1/3 is really 5.5 teaspoons, but I'm going to use a full 6. So we're going to put it on our wonderful little
Our not so hot plate.
hot plate. I'm going to whisk this around, okay? Now, you're going to use like a heavy saucepan. This is probably the heaviest saucepan I have, unless I use my Dutch oven, which I'm not going to use. So, Dutch oven. Okay, so anyway.
I was shaking my head no for a reason.
Oh, sorry, my bad. So what we're going to do is, as this is melting, it's actually melting pretty quickly, so we'll continue there. What we're going to do is, we're going to take flour. We're going to use a heaping 1/3 cup. Okay, not a level 1/3 cup, a heaping 1/3 cup. What that means is, looks kind of like that. And we're going to whisk in slowly. Okay? And we're going to whisk it in to make it nice and thick. Alright? And while we're doing this, I'm going to drink some Pinot Grigio. Because, well, you know.
Just keep whisking, just keep whisking. You never stop whisking.
I had to drink and I want her to whisk. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to slowly pour it in there. Okay? And while she's whisking that, we're going to take a tablespoon. Oh, Jesus Christ. Are we using something with milk and dairy?
Yep.
This is happening. All right, we're going to take a... Actually, I knew this ahead of time.
And he picked this recipe.
I love this recipe, though. All right, we're going to take a tablespoon of, or half and half. Okay, put it in there. Again, if it's a little more or a little less, well, I don't need a little less, but if it's a little more, no big deal. I mean, my ass might think it's a little big deal, but it doesn't matter. So while that's stirring, when it's nice and smooth and stirred up, then what we're going to do is we're going to take our mixture. So I'll wait till Candace, Chef Candace, tells me it's nice and smooth and mixed up.
I just want to make sure that everything on the sides is all incorporated.
Do not put your clams in yet. Clams not coming to the very end. Same thing with your red wine vinegar. If we overcook them, they become tough, gross, whatnot. All right, so we're going to take our mixture, pour that in.
If you can, stand off to the side when you pour it in. That way those teeny, itty bitty little splashes that land on you, don't.
All right, so what we're gonna do is just make sure it's nice heated through. You don't want it to boil, so if you need to turn it down so it doesn't boil, that's fine. Just make sure it's nice and consistent all the way through. So that's what it looks like before you add the clams.
Oh.
So we're gonna add a half teaspoon of the red wine vinegar. All right, I'm gonna splash a little red wine vinegar in there because I didn't realize this one had a little splashy thing on it. So then we're gonna take the clams and we're going to just basically dump your clams in there, okay? And again, just get them warm. So we're gonna mix this up, and the last thing I'm gonna do, about 3/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna do just a couple, and you can always salt and pepper it at taste when you serve it. So
Yeah.
do a couple of twists of the pepper, and that's it. Stir it up, make sure it's nice and warm, make sure your clams are nice and warm. And when it's done, it is thick. It's very hearty, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. And it's also pretty low on dairy. It's only got that 1 tablespoon.
My butt thanks her.
So, if you're dairy sensitive, this recipe will work for you.
We'll let it go for just a minute or two. All right, so it's all warm through. We're gonna take our ladle. We're gonna scoop it out. Again, it's thick, it's hearty. It's a great wintertime meal. But honestly, it's clam chowder. It's pretty much good anytime. So
Mama's hungry.
she's rubbing her hands like the old guy from The Simpsons. Excellent.
Excellent.
Okay, so I'm going to hand this over to Candace. And again, you can salt and pepper it after the fact if you'd like, because everyone has a little bit different taste, which is fine. What is it? Fuck, that's hot. Oh, sorry.
But it's so good.
All right, let me try it.
That's how I get another bite, bitch.
Fuck you. All right.
Good.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, we've had it before. But holy hell, it's hot. All right, so that's it. Very simple. It does take about the longest part is about 20 minutes cooking to get your potatoes nice and tender. The prep time is about 10-15 minutes. So you're looking at like a 30-35 minute dish. It's something you can do really, really quick for your date night. It's a great dinner. Makes it look like you've been working all day long in the kitchen. It's also good for an appetizer too. So if you have something that's coming up after this, it's a great way to start too. So either way, but let us know.
Especially in the wintertime.
Yes. Yep. And it goes good with anything. Clam chowder is a good starter for anything. So whether it's steak, chicken, seafood.
On the East Coast, it's not a seasonal food.
Right. So anyway, thank you all for watching. Let us know what you think. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your coworkers, share it with people you hate. As we always say, I don't give a shit who you share it with. Make sure everybody sees it. This is a great dish. Love it. Try it. Let us know what you think. Send us some emails. And of course, as always, Amy, by the way, Amy, you still owe me that recipe because, or you emailed me, but you didn't email the recipe for viewer recipes. So send me that too. So anyway, thanks so much. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate you loving it. And we look forward to seeing you next Saturday night, 8 p.m. on Cooking with Michael.
And Candace.
And Candace. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Yeah, I can eat.
Salt? Or, I'm sorry, 3/4 tablespoon of salt.
Tablespoon? That's a shit of a lot.
Is it 3/4? Oh, I'm sorry, 3/4. Try again. Next Wednesday, Candace is by herself. Guess what? She's filmed by herself, which means it's probably a dairy, kale, vegetable, vegan asshole splitting episode. I don't know what it is, but